Well, pipe bombs continue to be found at prominent places, critics of Donald Trump as president. And, this country's getting pathetic, although it's, probably just one guy or one small group just showing their hatred for anybody that opposes Donald Trump. I can't imagine where they got that idea.
If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees, I promise. I love the old days. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. That's true. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. In the good old days, they'd rip him out of that seat so fast. But today, everybody's politically correct. Our country's going to hell with being politically correct. Going to hell. All right, get him out of here, please. Get him out. Get him out. Are you from Mexico? Are you from Mexico? Huh? Are you from Mexico? Get out of here. Get out. Out! Oh, this is amazing. So much fun. I love it. I love it. We having a good time? USA. USA. All right, yeah, get him out. Try not to hurt him. If you do, I'll defend you in court. Don't worry about it. He had four guys. They jumped on him. They were swinging and swinging. The next day, we got killed in the press. That we were too rough. Give me a break. Right? We don't want to be too politically correct anymore, right, folks? Get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out of here. Get him out. Are these rallies the most fun of everybody, right? Do we have the most fun? Do we have the most fun? Yeah, get him out of here. Get him out. Get him out. So disruptive. Remember when Bernie Sanders, they took the mic away from him? That's not going to happen with us, folks. That's not going to happen. Remember that? He walked away from the mic and he stood back and he watched these two young girls talking to the audience and they said, we came to listen to him. And he was standing in the back as two women took the mic away. Now, that doesn't happen to us. Get that guy out of here. Get him out. Get that guy out of here. Get him out of here. Get him out. We had some people, some rough guys like we have right in here, and they started punching back. It was a beautiful thing. I mean, they started punching back. In the good old days, this doesn't happen because they used to treat them very, very rough. And when they protested once, they would not do it again so easily. But today they walk in and they put their hand up and they put the wrong finger in the air at everybody and they get away with murder because we become weak. We become weak.
Wow. Yeah, Trump doesn't promote violence, you're right.
On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Welcome to the Ron Van Dam Show. Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird, if you like that sort of thing.
Oh, they're more than a bit weird.
Whatever.
Good morning.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Thank you very much.
back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, whatever your liquid libation may be in the morning, and join us as we take a look at the world around us. As much as it's a pleasure to be with you, the pleasure is actually all yours. And now, here's your host, Ron Van Dam.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Please sit down. Sit down. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you very much. Well, that's a nice response. Very appreciated on my parts. Well, yeah, a lot of people say that President Trump is acting like a 5-year-old, but I think that gives a bad name to children. So you don't want to do that. Oh, man, things are really, really getting out of hand. Big time. So this has become rather weird.
It was unbelievably painful.
I know it was. Still is. Hey, got my flu shot. Give me a round of applause. I got my flu shot. All right, that's too much. Yeah, I went to CVS a couple of days ago and went down the flu shot aisle and picked up a flu shot. There were a lot of people at the CVS near me, and they weren't just buying vitamins. No, there were about 3 people in front of me signing up for the flu shot, and about 3 people behind me. I felt like a flu shot sandwich, trying to say that fast. Yeah, the lady behind the counter, she asked for my birth date. And I thought, well, should I lie? Should I say I'm younger than I am? And then I realized you can't do that at CVS. They've got records on me. They know everything about me. Oh, hello, Mr. Van Dam. How is that oozing pussy sore on your leg? Oh, you know so much about me. How did you know? Oh, we know. Oh, we know. No, you can't lie about your birth date. That's how they access your records, your dossier. It's not really that funny. And then they asked for my email address. I don't know if they're going to email me my flu shot. I don't know what that's about there. I guess so they can send me paraphernalia in the mail, coupons for things that I'll never buy. I can get 30% off my feminine hygiene pads, which I really haven't used in quite some time. Like ever. Anyway, so I signed a sheet. It asked me if I'm allergic to a lot of things. Do I have any blood clotting problems? Do I have a temperature at the time? Am I allergic to eggs? Am I allergic to bacon? I mean, it's just a list of things. And then I signed my name so that if the flu shot kills me, we had nothing to do with it. So I said, fine, and they called my name rather shortly after, and the pharmacist lady came out from behind the counter. I always thought when the pharmacists come out from behind the counter, they're probably not wearing any pants. But she was, and she said, are you left-handed or right-handed? And I said, well, it depends on what I'm doing. I'm right-handed. She said, would you like the shot in your left arm? I said, why? Is it going to be that debilitating? Will I not be able to pitch for the Red Sox? I mean, like, what's going on? She says, no, it doesn't really matter. So I said, yeah, put it in my left arm and make it pretty. So I didn't look at the needle. I never look at needles. I always look the other way. That's the same as when I'm having a conversation with somebody. I look the other way. I don't want to look them in the eyes. That's too engaging. That's just too scary for me. I get freaked out. Your eyeballs, they're like looking at me back. So I just look at the wall. And she said, you're going to feel a small prick. And I said, oh. Of course, there's so many ways to respond to that. But I didn't, because I'm a respectable man. I said, okay, Wouldn't be the first time I was going to say, but that would have been self-deprecating. Or you're going to feel a little prick, and I felt like saying, well, that's because you're standing right next to me. Things like that. But no, you don't do that. And I was waiting, but it didn't hurt at all. It didn't hurt at all. She injected the flu shot into my body. And as we've talked about so many times on this show, they're not injecting the flu into your body. They're injecting a small microcosm of a dead flu strain. And believe me, if you want to be injected with things, you want it to be dead strains. It didn't hurt at all. It really, really didn't. It's really wasn't painful.
It was unbelievably painful.
No, it wasn't. Don't say that, lady. And that was it. The whole flu shot experience, once the pharmacist came out with the syringe, was no more than 30, 40 seconds, and I was out the door. And then she gave me a coupon for 30% off anything in the store. And I thought, well, this is Christmas. This is Christmas. I didn't buy anything. I've got like months to use this thing. I'm going to wait till there's something at CVS that I actually need. And I don't know what that's going to be. But for a change, it won't be feminine pads. Anyway, that was my CVS experience. I used to not like CVS because they're carpeted. I know that sounds really weird to you. I used to go to Walgreens Pharmacy. I don't know if you're familiar with that, depending on what part of the country you're in. Walgreens decided about 3 years ago to give up on the war of the pharmacy. There used to be a CVS and a Walgreens on every single corner in the United States, kitty corner to every single Dunkin' Donuts. But Walgreens apparently just gave up. All of a sudden, they're shutting down Walgreens stores, and Walgreens is basically saying, "I give up. You win. You win. CVS, you win. We cannot keep up. We can't keep up with this." I like Walgreens because they have a tile floor, and it feels cleaner to me. I think they can do that tile floor shampoo thing every night. CVS, for some reason, has carpet pads. And they just seem a little dirtier and a little smellier to me. It's harder to get out all the dirt and grime from people's various shoes. So I didn't like CVS at first. Now I don't mind it because I have no choice, because all the Walgreens around me have just laid down and played dead. Now they're vacant buildings. So I've been forced into the CVS world. I don't mind it too much. All pharmacies have their problems. I think at one point, CVS was putting the wrong pills in the bottles, which is rather consequential in the long run. But now they have tighter restrictions. I think they wear glasses now so they can see what pills are going in the bottles. Walgreens had their problems. All the stuff on the shelf, not all the stuff, but a lot of stuff on the shelf was mismarked price-wise. So you go to the register and you'd be paying a price that was a lot higher than what it said on the shelf. Walgreens couldn't quite figure out that part of it. So they had their problems. Personally, I'd rather pay more than get the wrong pills, but whatever the case may be. So that's what's going on there. Hey, I met a woman who owns a Dunkin' Donuts, soon just to be called Dunkin', by the way, because Dunkin' Donuts, no one has time to say the whole word. Too many words in the title of this. Dunkin' Donuts takes up too much time in my life to say that. Just Dunkin'. Okay, I'm done. I actually met a woman who owns one, and I said to her, I said, how can you make so much money off the sale of coffee? And she said, first of all, our coffee is very good. Secondly, it's $20 a cup. And I said, yeah, I guess that's true. Do people still eat donuts? I asked her, and she said, oh, yes, many people do, especially the seniors that we're trying to kill. I said, well, yeah, that makes sense to me. Not to kill them, but certainly to get rid of your donuts. I mean, I guess that's why Dunkin' Donuts isn't in the title anymore, because they want to get rid of the donut thing. Because donuts are just not good for you. They're just not good for you. We did an interview yesterday with Dr. Julie Gatza, who said that sugar is the enemy of the people. And it really is. Sugar creates a horrible digestive situation and health situation for you. So here's a store that everybody's buying the coffee and killing themselves with donuts, with this doughy sugar crap on a daily basis. I mean, when you're having a meeting at the office, somebody stops off and picks up a dozen donuts. That's not, what do you want to do, get your staff sick? Don't pick up a dozen carrot sticks. Yeah, like that would work. As soon as we go to the office, we don't eat well. That's like working in an office. That's an entitlement to eat very poorly. If someone has a birthday, have a piece of birthday cake. If there's a meeting in the morning, have a donut. If you get a little peckish in the afternoon, go to the vending machine down the hall and get a piece of candy. Ladies and gentlemen, the office environment is killing us. Just a word to the wise and the not so wise. I got a question for you.
What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today? What are you wearing? What are you wearing? What are you wearing today?
In the Northeast, it's starting to get rather cold outside. And that's a problem because people don't know what to wear. Yesterday here in the Boston area, it was about 45 degrees. And I was wearing a light jacket. And I'm in the CVS, and I see this guy walking in. He's wearing a sweatshirt on top with shorts. And I thought, you don't understand that your body is connected from the upper part and the bottom. How can you be wearing shorts on the bottom of your body, and on the top of it, you're wearing a sweatshirt like you're freezing to death? You make no sense wardrobe-wise. And I see this all the time. I think it's a thing. I think you give the impression that you're a long-distance runner, stopping off at CVS for a flu shot, I guess. You're a long-distance runner who is cold on the upper part of your body. It makes no sense whatsoever. Well, Ron, you don't understand long-distance runners. We need to have our legs exposed in order for optimum workage of the legs, but we need to contain the heat on the upper part of our body. That's bullshit. Stop it. Just stop it. Just stop making up things. That's not why, and you know it. Lord. All right. My guest today is Ingrid Hoffman. She is on the Food Network, Food Channel, Food Everything. She's a chef, a celebrity author. She's a wonderful person. She's been on the show many times. And as the holidays are upon us, we start eating really crappy. And we start baking things. I can't bake. I don't like to bake. It's a science. I'm not into science. I'm into cooking, where you can be creative and blend various flavors and come up with different combinations. You can't really do that with baking. You know, you're off by like half of an ounce, and all of a sudden you've just baked a block of cement. So I don't know. Look, we're going to speak to her in just a moment, but first...
You are listening to The Ron Van Dam Show, the podcast world's version of painful itching and swelling. You know they sell a cream for that, right? It's over the counter. Works really well. I've had to use it a lot.
Ron, good morning.
Hi, Ingrid. How are you today?
Good, Ron. How are you?
I'm fantastic. This is chef and TV host Ingrid Hoffman. She's been with us before, and she's the go-to person when it comes to Food. It's a large category. Large category. It is the season where people start cooking feverishly, the Thanksgiving and the holidays. And, I close my eyes and I say to myself, here we go. And I love to cook, but the one thing that I'm not great at is baking because that's a science. So I'm turning to you, give me some ideas for some wow kinds of baking for the holidays.
With this times of year, basically, if you think about it, from Halloween on down, every month we're going to have a huge holiday because then we have Thanksgiving and then Christmas.
I know.
Now, although it's perfect baking season, and the one thing, though, that I say to people pick smart recipes because it's also generally the time of year that we're so busy between our children's commitments, our own work, things just get very crazy. So I think that really the tip is pick smart recipes. And by smart recipes, I say things that are easy to make. Most of them, hopefully, you can make way ahead, which for me is always one of the keys. I start doing things 2 weeks before. I freeze some, and that way I know that at least my desserts are out of the way.
Good.
And, I have to say that my staple of forever and ever probably has been since I'm a child in my house is the la lechera dulce de leche, condensed milk. That is a staple pantry item. So that's something that you can keep year-round. And generally, for most of these recipes, like, for instance, my dulce de leche pumpkin flan, that's a 20-minute job, and that's it, and you're done. Or I make a delicious apple raisin cake. That's 15 minutes. Now, the apple raisin cake is where you can make that 2 weeks before if you want and freeze. So, again, smart recipes and things that you can make ahead. And another great idea, which I find the kids always love, and that's fun to make with the kids. I like bringing in and making it a family affair. And I find that for myself, most of my childhood memories that are so linked to the holidays, cooking with grandparents and uncles and aunts, you get to pass on so many histories of family and traditions that if you pick something as easy to make as a dulce de leche thumbprint cookie, you bring the kids in and make them part of it, and they end up having ownership. Everyone ends up having a great time, and then again, super easy to make recipes.
Those are the things you do remember for the rest of your life, and you attach those relationships with those times when you were creating food with them. Very interesting. Let's talk about what things I should actually have on hand, because baking, you have to have certain things, and yet I think you always find that, I got to run out and get this, and that's not a cool thing.
Yeah, well, I think that for most of us, at least, people that like to bake and do that with the kids, there's simple items that are just basic, from a really good mixer, which helps you cut down on time, to a silpat. Silpats have become like an addiction of mine. They are silicone pads. They're super easy to clean. Things don't stick to them. And, of course, a sifter is key so that you can, do that to flour, to sugar, to every item that you need to sort through and refine. So I think, like, with that, immediately right there you have your staples. Okay.
You said that you can freeze the baking creations that you've put together. I'm not familiar with that. How is that done? You just you create it, you're finished baking, you let it cool, and then how do you package it? What do you do?
Well, you got to seal everything off first, hermetically, like in very good sealed plastic wrap.
Yeah.
And then generally I'll put it in foil as well, and then put that inside of Ziploc bags so that they're really airtight. And, not all recipes are great for freezing. I've specifically pointed out, for instance, my yam and pecan dessert. The yam and pecan, the yam part you can pre-make and then defrost the day before, and then finish them off on the day of your party. As do the apple raisin cake. Also, freezes really good. So it's also about whatever you decide to make. You can either Google or you can go to our website and see all the tips. And I think that anything that you decide to make nowadays, I always say Googling is the easiest way and see if it freezes well. On our website, obviously, at lalechera.com, we have a lot of tips and tricks that really are helpful to guide people through the holidays. And again, I say stick to easy, smart recipes. I find that often I see it with friends that people try and do really crazy, wild things, elaborate for the holidays, and all that ends up being is an incredible stressor. First, it's complicated recipes that people don't know how to make.
Right.
So if you're going to be making things for the first time, make sure that they're easy. And one way of gauging that is anytime that you look at a recipe and it's got few ingredients, you know that that's a recipe that is doable. The minute that list starts growing, that just starts telling you that this is going to get complicated. So easy, smart recipes with few ingredients, few procedures, and don't be afraid to start 2 weeks before and freeze some of these items.
That's a great idea.
They're going to make life so much easier.
Yeah, very quickly, how do I defrost those frozen goods? Do you just let them sit out? Do you put them in the refrigerator? How do you do that?
Let them sit out. You can either let them sit out or you can, 2 days before, start putting them in the fridge so that they slowly start getting to temperature. And then on the day of the event, you take them out a few hours before, and then you can either preheat them in the oven, depending on which of the recipes. But most of these recipes freeze really well.
Yeah, it's interesting because when you do parties and things like that, if you get too complicated with too many add-ons, then there's going to be somebody that says, "Oh, that's a great looking cake, but I don't do cherries or I don't do nuts," and then you kind of like limiting your audience in a way, like a performance.
Yeah, and that's why sticking to traditions generally helps. It's things that people recognize.
Yes.
Different generations all can relate to it. It's also a really nice way of keeping, tradition and different cultures alive.
Yeah.
So pass it on to the kids so that one day they'll be doing the same with their kids.
Good. One more time, the website where we can get it right.
The website is lalechera.com.
Okay.
And I wish everybody a great holiday season and lots of fun.
Thank you. Let me just spell that for those that may not be familiar. It's LALECHERA.com. Ingrid, thank you so much for your help today.
Thanks again for being with you again. We're starting to become long-distance friends this way.
Not a bad thing. Thanks.
Not a bad thing.
Thank you, Ingrid.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Well, there you go. Now you're up to date. I don't know what that means. This has been very, very enjoyable. I'm sorry. It's hard to say this with a straight face, but it really has been enjoyable. The time that we spend together not knowing each other, totally not touching, no communication whatsoever, is really quite endearing. And if you've learned anything at all during this time with me, then not only am I grateful, but I'm quite amazed. Because I didn't think you're capable of that. So, as I put you down as a listener, that means I'm writing your name down. I have noticed... I know, I'm out of stuff. Have yourselves a wonderful day. I wish you peace. Go have a sandwich. But nothing fatty, please. Stay healthy. If you get sick and you can't listen to this show anymore, I suffer.